I'm going to guide us through a power yoga class, which means we might challenge some muscle groups and even some joints a little more than they're willing today. So be sure that you're really paying attention and observant to your own body and to the needs of your own practice. Take a breath. In through the nose and out through your mouth. And again. Let's take the breath even just a little bit deeper. With your next inhale, pull your breath in as fully as you can. Hold your breath. Exhale. Again, inhale. Hold your breath. Exhale. One last time, inhale. Hold your breath. Exhale. And then wiggling your fingers and toes, maybe even rotating your wrists and ankles a little bit. If you haven't already, bend your knees and bring your feet to the floor. Windshield wiper your knees right and left. And then we'll stop. And of course, hug the right knee into your chest. Point and flex at your right foot and ankle and rotate in both directions. Maybe even wiggle your toes and try and spread them apart like fingers. And sit your foot down. Hug your left knee in and do the same thing. You're pointing and flexing at the left foot and ankle, wiggling the toes and spreading them apart. And set it down. Hug your right knee in again and straighten the left leg, pressing your heel gently into the floor. If that's too much, bring your knee, bend your knee again and bring your left foot back to the floor. Good. Then set your right foot down. Hug your left knee in and then straighten your right leg to the mat. Pushing the right heel gently into the floor. Set your left foot down. Hug your right knee in and straighten your left leg. Trying to be a little extra gentle to our hips in this transition. Sit the right foot down, hug the left knee in, and straighten the right leg. Sit the left foot down, hug the right knee in, and straighten the left leg. Set the right foot down. Last time, hug the left knee in, and straighten the right leg. Then come out to a big full body stretch, reaching your hands away and pointing your toes away. Hug one knee at a time into your chest. Once both knees are there, bring your arms in between the knees to grab the shins. Come to modified happy baby, rock right and left. Right, hug the knees together, but then set the feet right back down. We're going to do a little bit more here, especially with warming up some shoulders. Reach your hands to the ceiling, flatten your back against the mat. Bring effort through your upper outer shoulder, almost like you're squeezing a block, but not with all you've got, just a little bit in between your hands. Inhale, lower your hands back behind your head. Exhale, bring them back up. Keep your back flat to the mat as you bring your hands back and up. Keep going. Good. And then one more. Bring your hands behind your head. Elbows out wide. And then peel your upper back off the mat. Keep your knees bent, your feet on the floor. This is really just a warm-up, so it's not meant to be a full bicycle. Bring your left knee up and over to your right elbow. Bring your right elbow across and come back down. This is a modified bicycle. Bring your left elbow up and across to meet your right knee. And back down, and let's keep going. We're 1, 2, 3. Stay controlled and stable. That's what this is about. Warming up the stability of this motion. 1 more on each side. Good. And then leg back down again. Straighten your right leg and bring your hands to your hamstring. Pressing the hamstring into the hands and vice versa. Flex at your right ankle, kind of pressing your heel up. Then place your left hand on the mat beside you. Stick your right elbow out to the side and lower your leg to the right. And back up. Switch hands. The left hand comes to the right hamstring and your right leg is going to go off to the left. And back up. All right, pause, bring both hands beside your body, palms down, flatten your back against the mat, and really firm in this left outer hip. Try not to have a big arch in your neck. We are going to lower the right leg toward the mat, but this time I want you to hover it over the floor. Hover it over the floor. So lower down almost to the floor, and then we're going to hover it there, flatten your back against the mat. Bring your shoulder heads into the mat. Draw your tailbone towards your left heel, and then lower it on down. Reach your hands back for like a half of a full body stretch. Place your hands back on the mat on either side of you. Step your right foot in. Straighten your left leg to the ceiling. Hands to the hamstring. You're pressing your hamstring into the interlaced hands and kind of vice versa. The right hand comes to the mat beside you. Stick your left elbow out to the side and lower your leg to the left. Your elbow should stop you. I want it to be like a kickstand. From your right outer hip in and flatten your back against the mat. Bring it back up. Switch hands. Lower your left leg to the right. And back up. Bring both hands to the mat on either side of your body, and let's set up muscularly. So flatten your back against the mat from your right outer hip in, kind of grabbing the floor through the ball of your right foot as well. And then start to slowly lower the left leg toward the floor, rotating the shoulder heads into the mat, keeping the back flat against the mat. And then hover your foot over the floor. Maintaining these efforts, maintaining these alignments, breathing as well, and then go ahead and lower it all the way down. Reach your hands back behind you for half of a full body stretch. And place your hands back on the mat. Step your left foot in. Wiggle it out a little bit. Doesn't necessarily have to be windshield wipers, though it can be. Just kind of wiggle your back and your hips out a little bit right and left. All right, then straighten both legs to the ceiling. Flatten your back against the mat. Rotate the shoulder heads into the mat. Keep your arms alongside your body, palms down. Flex your ankles. And then we're trying to make sure the heels are over the hips. Often when we do this, if you can even see, my heels right now are kind of over my belly. So scoot them a little forward, and it probably feels a little too far forward. And then lower just the right leg. Hover it over the floor. Keep the shoulder heads rotated into the mat and breathe. Bring the right leg back up and switch sides. Breathing the whole way. Hover it over the floor. Flex at both ankles. Bring it back up. Good. Right side lowers down. And we are kind of pausing for a moment as you hover the leg over the floor. Back up. Left leg. Keep breathing. You got this. Back up. All right, we're going to do one more on each side. Right leg. See how well you can maintain your alignment. So that means you can not lower your leg quite as far if you need to. Back up. Left leg comes down. This is the last one. All right, bring it back up. Bend your knees, bring your feet to the floor, and let's have a big full body stretch. Come to ball. Tuck your chin into your chest, like you're gonna touch forehead and knees. Rock forward and back with a little extra roundness in your spine. And then all the way up. Nice job, guys, well done. So of course, we're gonna come to crisscross. As a reminder, your crisscross shouldn't be super tight. So we're not like seeing how tight we can knot the leg. Left hand is on your left knee. Bring your right hand behind your right hip. Widen your collarbones and rotate your chest and your torso to the right. Keep your chin fairly in line with the center of your chest. Find a big breath. Bring your right hand back to your right knee. Seated cat-cow. So exhale, round your back and tuck your chin, straighten the arms. Inhale, lift your chest toward the ceiling, but bring your belly button towards your legs. Exhale, round your back and tuck your chin. Inhale, bring a little sway in your spine, bring it forward. Lift your chin. Exhale, round your back and tuck your chin. One more, inhale, lift your chin, lift your chest. Good. And then we're gonna switch the crisscross. Right hand remains on your right knee, left hand coming behind your left hip. With your exhale, twist to the left. Take a big breath. And back to center. Several seated cat-cow here as well. So we're gonna straighten the arms, tuck the chin, round the back. Inhale, bring the chest forward, sway the back. Exhale, round the back. Inhale. One more, exhale. Inhale. Wonderful. Come on over to tabletop. So setting up the effort here, the hands are slightly wider than shoulder width, hands turned out. Your index fingers, if it helps, are often pointed straight forward instead of toward the middle. Pull your lower ribs in. Look toward the front of your mat. Exhale, bring your right knee into your chest. Inhale, right leg back. Keep going. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale, bring it back. Breathe. Good. Then we're going to bring the ball of the right foot into the floor and press the heel back a little. Lift your right heel, step your right foot forward. Bring your hands to your hips. Draw the right hip crease back and the tailbone down. Inhale, sweep the hands up, and exhale, bring them back. Just a couple times. From your, the next time your hands are overhead, with your exhale, place your hands on the mat on either side of the right foot. Leave the left hand down, reach the right hand up. Bring this left upper arm to create stability for the shoulder, and then maybe wrap the right arm behind your back. Right hand comes back up and to the mat. Step your right knee back, bring your knees out wide, hips back, child's pose. Knees out wide is helping create some stretch and mobility in the hips. Let's come back to tabletop. Same thing. Set up your alignment in your effort, then exhale, bring your left knee into your chest, and inhale back. Keep moving. So you're still pressing through your entire palm, your entire fingers and fingertips, using that pickle jar effort, drawing the hands away from the center. Your next one, leave the left leg back, flex at your ankle, and bring the ball of your foot into the floor. Lift your heel and step your foot forward, hands to hips. Draw the left hip crease back and the tailbone down. We're gonna do our joint frame motion. Inhale, bring your hands up. Exhale, back. Inhale. Exhale. Keep going. Last one. After your hands are up overhead next, with your exhale, place your hands on the floor on either side of the left foot. Leave your right hand down, reach the left hand up. Again, firming in the right upper arm, then maybe wrapping the left arm behind your back. Left heel should be under the knee. Left hand comes back up into the mat. Step back to tabletop. And child's pose. Once again, with the knees out pretty wide, whatever you're comfortable with, and then hips back, arms forward. Take several deep breaths. And tabletop. Hands slightly wider than shoulder width. Pickle jar effort happening in the hands. You're pressing through the entire palm and fingers and fingertips. Curl your toes under, lift your hips up and back for your first down dog. So feel free to pedal the feet and rock the hips a bit. Good, and then come back to tabletop. Step your toes back to plank. Push the floor. Good. Drop your knees for tabletop. Step your right foot to the outside of the right hand. Bring your right hand to your right hip and turn your chest to the right. Take a big breath. Right hand comes back to the mat inside the right foot. Curl your left toes under and lift your hips as high as the right knee. Drop your left knee back to the mat. Step your right foot back to tabletop. And down dog, this time holding it steady, ears are in between the biceps. Pushing the floor, so your arms should be straight. Back to tabletop. And step your toes back for plank. Tabletop. And step your left foot to the outside of the left hand. Bring your left hand to your left hip. Turn your chest to the left. Breathing steady. Hugging the left knee in just slightly so it's not diving out to the side. Left hand comes back to the mat. Curl your right toes under. Lift your hips as high as the left knee. Drop your right knee to the mat. Step your left knee back to tabletop. Down dog. Breathe steady. Tabletop and plank. Breathe steady. Stay calm in your breath. Tabletop. Step your right foot to the outside of your right hand. Draw your right hip crease back, and then you can drop your left forearm to the mat if you like for lizard. One big breath, then come back to your hands. Curl your left toes under, lift your hips as high as the right knee. Draw the right hip crease back, pause, and with control, step your right foot back to plank. Yeah, keep your hips as high as the shoulders. Tabletop. Down dog. Breathe steady. Reach your right heel back. Bring your right knee to your chest. Come out to plank, round the back like a mad cat. And then step your right foot forward. All the way forward. Yeah, there you go. Drop your left knee. Sweep your hands up. Low lunge. Hands to the mat. Curl your left toes under, lift your hips. Plank. Drop your knees, tabletop. Good. And step your left foot to the outside of your left hand. Draw the left hip crease back. Drop to your right forearm if and only if you can maintain stability in your hips. Try and pull your sternum toward the front of the mat as you're in that pose. Yeah, good. and come up to your hands. Very nice. Curl your right toes under, lift your hips. Find stability in your movement as we step these left toes back to plank. And tabletop. Down dog. Reach your left heel back. Bring your knee to your chest. Shoulders come forward over the wrists, round the back. Step the left foot through. Yes, good. Drop the right knee. Sweep the hands up. Low lunge. Hands to the mat. Curl the right toes under. Lift your hips. Step back to plank. Drop your knees to modified plank. And come down to your forearms. Forearm planks. You can stay on your knees or curl the toes under and lift the hips. Drop your knees back to the mat. Come back to your hands. Walk your knees into tabletop and come to down dog. 3 big breaths. Ears in between your biceps, straight arms. Tabletop. Plank. Modified plank. And forearm plank. You can lift your hips up if you like. Drop your knees, come back to your hands. Walk your knees in, tabletop. And down dog. 3 big breaths. Pickle jar effort in your hands, breath still moving. Walk your feet forward. Ragdoll. Little bend in your knees, weight through the front of your feet. Let go of your elbows. Inhale, rise to half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. One more, exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Pause here. Left fingers stay on the mat. Bring your right hand to your right hip. Bend your left knee and twist to the right. Please don't lock out the right knee. Right hand comes to the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, fold. Half lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. Keep your right fingers on the floor. Left hand, left hip. Bend the right knee and twist to the left. Left hand coming back to the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. Arms by your side. Come to mountain. We haven't really slowed down enough to identify that, so let's take a second. Your feet are hip width, palms are forward. Rotate your shoulders back, widen your chest, and pause for breath. And focus, observation. Are you grabbing the floor through the ball of your feet? Are you accidentally locking your knees out? Hugging your lower ribs in and drawing your tailbone down. Letting breath flow through that effort. And inhale, bring your hands up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Half lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step your right foot back. Drop your right knee, hands up. Exhale, hands to the mat. Curl your right toes under. Lift your hips as high as the left knee. Place your palms on the mat, step back to plank. Drop your knees, lower down. Bring your palms to the floor on either side of your body. Straighten your arms back. Push the tops of your feet into the floor. Rotate your shoulder heads back and lift your chest. Bringing the inner arm slightly forward, rotating the shoulders back. Forehead back to the mat. Place your palms on the mat beside your lowest rib and press up to modified plank. Drop your forearms to forearm plank. Drop your knees, come back to your hands, to plank, and down dog. Reach your right heel back. Step your right foot forward. Drop your left knee, sweep your hands up. Exhale, right back down. Curl your left toes under, lift your hips. Step forward, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, fold. Half lift. Hands to the mat, step your left foot back, drop your left knee, sweep your hands up. Hands to the mat, put your left toes under, lift your hips. Step back to plank. Drop your knees, lower down. Straighten your arms alongside your body, palms down. Push the tops of the feet down till the knees lift. Rotate your shoulder heads back and lift your chest. Forehead to the mat. Place your hands by your lowest rib. Press up to modified plank. Drop to forearm plank. Of course, you can leave your knees down or lift them up. Drop your knees. Come back to your hands. To plank. And down dog. Reach your left heel back. Step your left foot forward. Drop your right knee, sweep your hands up. Hands to the mat. Curl your right toes under, lift your hips. Step forward, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. Arms by your side. Take a big breath. Inhale, sweep your hands up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Hands to the mat, bend your knees, step back to plank. Bring a knee into your chest and step back, and a knee into your chest and step back. Keep going. I'm stealing these from a different type of modality. We're doing it anyway, and then come to modified plank. Lower down. Arms alongside your body, palms down. Push the tops of the feet down and lift the chest. Forehead down. Place your hands by your lowest rib. Press up to modified plank and down dog. Walk, step, or hop your feet forward. Half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, fold. Half lift. Hands to the mat, step back to plank. Bring knees to chest. Slow mountain climbers. These are not fast. Then modified plank and lower down. Arms alongside your body, palms down. Push the tops of the feet down, lift the chest. Forehead down, press up to knees. Tabletop and child's pose. Knees out nice and wide, hips back. Back to tabletop. Down dog. Reach your right heel back. Bring your knee to chest. Come out to plank. Round the back. Step it through. Yes. Drop your left foot at an angle. Let's come to warrior two. Firming the right hip underneath, bringing the left outer hip slightly forward. Take a big breath. Hands to the mat. Come onto your left toes, down dog. Reach your left heel back. Bring your left knee to chest. Wrists over, or shoulders over wrists. Step your left foot through. Drop your right foot at an angle, warrior two. Take a big breath. Sweep your hands to the top of the mat. Come on to your right toes, down dog. Reach your right heel back. Step your right foot through, same way. Warrior two. Bring your right forearm to your right thigh. Reach your left hand across for extended side angle. We're dropping the left shoulder to the left hip, but finding length through the left fingers and sternum. Back to warrior two. Hands to the mat. Come onto your left toes. Down dog. Reach your left heel back. Step your left foot through. Drop your right foot at an angle, warrior two. Bring your left forearm to your left thigh, right hand reaches across. Extended side angle. Come back to warrior two. Bring your hands to the mat. Come on to the right toes, down dog. Reach your right heel back. Step your right foot through, nice and steady. Warrior two. Come to cactus arms. Elbows stay in line with your chest and as high as your shoulders. We're gonna do like little right side crunches. So bring the right elbow down and back up. Right elbow down and back up. Keep going. Keeping the alignment of your warrior two everywhere else, remember? And then warrior two. Come on to your hands, either side of your right foot, come onto your left toes. Pause. Bring weight into your right foot, lift your left heel. Push the floor away through the right foot. Step your left foot beside your right foot, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. Hands in prayer in front of your sternum. Come onto your right toes. Lift your right knee hip height or lower. We're going to bring the right knee out and back in. Yeah, good. A couple times. Your priority is the stability of your left leg, not the depth of rotation of your right hip. All right, leave the right knee out. Bring the right foot into your left thigh, tree pose. Hands back in prayer. Bring the right knee forward, step it down, have a breath in mountain. Inhale, sweep your hands up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Half lift. Hands to the mat, step back to plank. Come to forearm plank. Back to plank. And down dog. Reach your left heel back. And let's see if I can remember all that. Step your left foot through. Come to warrior two. Come to cactus. Elbows in line with your chest and as high as your shoulders. With your exhale, left elbow comes toward the left hip and back up. Try and maintain all your warrior two alignments as we go. One more. Then come back to warrior two. Sweep your hands to the mat. Come onto the right toes. Bring all your weight into your left foot and lift your right heel hip height. Step your right foot beside your left foot, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. Hands in prayer in front of your chest. Take a breath. Come onto your left big toe. Lift your knee as high as your hip. Bring the knee out and back in. Your priority is the stability of the right hip. So it's likely you're going to have one side that's a little tighter. On your next one, leave the knee out to bring your foot in and grow your tree. Hands back in prayer. Bring your left knee forward, step down, walk it out. Step your feet wide. Toes turned out slightly. And find your mountain, palms forward. Take a big breath. Hands in prayer. We're going to sit back in Malasana. Draw your heels together, lift your sternum, and hug those lower ribs in. But there's more. So we're gonna very slowly sit the bottom down. Come out to boat. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Bring those knees together, lift your chest. And then step your feet back down, kind of where they were. Place your hands behind you. Bring it in, Malasana. And then we're going up. So here we go. Lift all the way up. Slow but steady. And shake it out. Nice job. So here's the deal. The real deal. We're going to do that one more time, but when we're down, we're going to stay down. We won't ride the elevator back up. Because I'm nice like that. So let's do it. Feet wide. Hands in prayer. Just to be clear, this is also great for runners and bikers, in case you're curious. Sit on down. Slow and steady. Once you're there, you're going to draw the heels toward each other. Lift your chest. Breathe. Lift your chest. There it is. And then steady and slow. Sit your bottom down. Bring your knees together. You got it. And then lay down, knees bent. And then we made it to the mat. Windshield wiper your knees right and left. We're going to do a couple of rolling bridges. Have your block nearby. So first, let's let the hips and back loosen up a little. Scoot your hips to the right, drop your knees to the left, and take a breath. Come back to center. Pause for a moment. Scoot your hips to the left, and drop your knees to the right. Take a breath. Come back to center. Feet hip width. Palms to the floor. Your heels should ideally be underneath your knees or even slightly forward of the knees is still okay. Rotate the shoulder heads into the mat without creating a big arch in your neck. Bring your back flat to the mat. With your inhale, lift your hips up. With your exhale, bring it back down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. We're going to do one more. Inhale. And then grab your block and bring it underneath your tailbone and lower on down for supported bridge. Take several deep breaths. Good, and then lift your hips up, remove your block, and sit back down. Wiggle it out a little bit. Straighten your right leg to the ceiling. Interlace your hands behind your hamstring and press the hamstring into the hands. Ankles are flexed, back is flat. And left hand comes to the mat beside you. Stick your right elbow out to the side and lower your right leg to the right, repeating a stretch. Now, if you need a bigger stretch, you can walk your hands to your right calf and stop there. Please don't let your hand land on your knee. Ankles remain flexed. Right leg comes back up and the left hand comes to the right hamstring. Now let's drop the right leg off to the left. Keep your ankle flexed and your leg fairly straight. Back up. Good. Bring your right ankle to your left thigh and press the right thigh away from you. That might be enough. If you want a little more, bring your left knee into your chest and your hands come behind the hamstring. Figure 4. Set your left foot down. Sit your right foot down and wiggle it out a little bit. Straighten your left leg to the ceiling. Bring your hands behind your hamstring. Pause here, ankle flexed. Your left hand is on your left hamstring and your right hand comes to the mat beside you. Lower the left leg to the left. And again, you can bring your hand all the way out to your calf if you like. Keep the right outer hip firm. Almost like you're pushing the inside of your right leg against something, especially your right heel. Then back up. Right hand comes to the left hamstring and the left leg goes off to the right. Leg fairly straight, ankle flexed. There you go. Yeah, back to center. Bring your left ankle to your right thigh above the knee, pressing the left thigh away with muscular effort. Then bring the right knee into your chest, hands to the hamstring. Figure 4. Sit your right foot down, sit your left foot down. Big full body stretch. Into either happy baby or Supta Baddha Konasana, butterfly on the floor. Take a big breath either way. One more big breath. And encourage your knees back to center and come to Shavasana. Lay on down. Laying down, really the stillness being the most important part of your practice. Take a breath. Make some observations. And I always stress, but it is always true, that no observation is the wrong observation. So if there is traffic, or if there's someone playing ping pong in the same room you're in, either way, no observation is the wrong observation. We are always going to have distractions, and that's really kind of the point. We are always going to have distractions. And so in yoga, we're trying to learn to breathe through the distraction, whether it's challenging a certain muscle group, or your heart rate, or your stillness. It comes back to take a breath, an inhale through your nose, and an exhale out of your mouth. An inhale through your nose, and an exhale out of your mouth. Allowing ourselves to calm for just a moment gives us the opportunity and the space mentally to say, that's okay. Whatever it is you observe, that's okay. Take a breath. Strengthening our ability to say that, whatever that is, can exist at the same time as my stillness. Whatever stressors or challenges can exist at the same time that I breathe. Take a breath. Let it out. And repeat. Take a breath. Let it out. And repeat. One breath after another, helping you stay calm right where you're at, mentally, physically calm. wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes. Slowly waking your body back up. Thank you guys so much for choosing to participate today. I, as always, hope that you feel better now than you did when we started. Namaste.